climate of the past is not the guideline for the climate of the future. It will be different. How much different depends on what we do on our greenhouse gas emissions. But the reality is it is different now than it was a decade ago. It will be different again in another decade.
What's causing climate change is pretty basic science. It's physics and chemistry you learn probably in grade 10. The lag effect is pretty large, so even if we stop today, it's going to take a while for things to sort of go back down to normal, if they even go back down to normal. You know, there might just become a new equilibrium.
We have a very uneven distribution of water around the world. And of course, with climate change, we have changing stores of water, changing availability of water. It's predicted that a lot of the future conflicts between nations, wars, are going to be fought over water.
The science is in, it's time for action. And we've been very frustrated by how slow the action has been. We're not saying everything's been understood, but we know enough. We know enough that, for example, smoking cigarettes is linked to cancer. We know enough that what we're doing is changing the climate, and it has very dire consequences.
Typically we take out insurance, in situations where it is unclear to us precisely what the consequences will be. We know that they are expected to be severe. We don't know precisely how severe. We know that the impacts will be negative. Negative in terms of increasingly severe and frequent extreme events in precipitation and drought, which are already being experienced all over the planet. We continue to fail as a human civilization.
Cars have become a lot more efficient over the last decades. Yet, when we look at the carbon production, it actually hasn't been reduced. So what happened? People actually drove more cars, and they drove the cars more often. So it is really a behavioral aspect, and so we need to understand how can we actually change people's behaviors.
I think humans aren't stupid. I think we may be doing things more slowly than we could be or should be, but I think as the evidence mounts, eventually we're going to see that we need to do something.
Instead of wasting time in discussing the existence or convincing those who are not convinced that climate change is occurring, we are trying to move into the area of decision making under uncertainty.